Hey, everybody, Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Hope you guys are doing great. Wow, what a month. I cannot believe how fast things are going. We are already more than three-fourths of the way through August, on to September, the wonderful part of fall, which, as many of you know, is my favorite part of the season. And it's fantastic. And yes, Phoenix area is hot. It's actually been kind of hot all over Arizona, but we are expecting some monsoons finally. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And then hopefully we get through September cool into October, and then we are off to the races. So, welcome to another episode of the Lockbox, your go-to podcast for Arizona real estate community, trends, home buying tips, lifestyle, and thank you for making us Arizona's #1 lifestyle and real estate podcast. I'm Jason Grandon from the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Here we go. So here we are, mid-August. The desert heat is still blazing, but there's a telltale sign of summer is winding down. How do we tell? Well, kids are back in school across the state. The first early morning bell, school start at different times. Our 8-year-old goes fourth grade. He starts at 9. Some of the kids, like North Valley Christian, start at 8. So, you're just getting going. But anyways, that's not just a signal for parents and students. It's also a cue that Labor Day weekend is just around the corner. Wife's birthday. And yes, fall is coming. Any of you that have been to a Starbucks or a Dutch Brothers or anything, you can see the pumpkin spice thing coming. And I don't know what it is, but people love their pumpkin spice. Now, I don't drink coffee. I do have to tell you, there's a place out here that we've really started enjoying. It's called Swig. And it's like soda water, and you can put different flavors into it. It's been actually really good. It's fun. And one of the TV shows actually made it popular, and it's always 50 cars deep. It's awesome. So I love to see businesses that are flourishing. Okay, so let me tell you that fall in Arizona isn't just about pumpkin spice and cozy sweaters. It's a prime time for buying and selling homes. We are expecting some incredible things this season. We are going to see rates drop, which means those of you that have been teeter-tottering on the fence, you better get moving, because once those rates drop, we get rid of the massive amount of inventory we have, and then it could potentially turn into a seller's market. So, back to school and seasonal vibes. I'm going to break this down today into some different segments. I'm trying different things just to keep you all entertained. And again, thank you for making the Grandon Group a top-notch podcast. So I go through these different things. We're on a new platform here, and trying to keep fun things going. Plus, you see me in video here, and that's one thing I've got to still work on a little bit, but we'll get that going. So, back to school and seasonal vibes. So what does back to school mean for Arizona homeowners? Well, families are planning moves so they can settle before the holidays. That's what that means. Kids are back in school, things are getting cleaned up. Now you can decide, wait a second, do we get a new home that we can decorate in December, host parties stress-free, and really enjoy the season? If the answer is yes, then you know what? It's time to fix your stuff up. Also, while we're talking about fall, let's not forget the fun stuff. Halloween costume plans, fall decor, love it. Hobby Lobby, At Home, all those places have just a ton of fall items out. And yes, like we just mentioned, pumpkin, spice, everything. It's crazy. Even if you don't have kids, there is a connection that affects all homeowners. And I want to get into this. We've talked about this in past podcasts before. And home values are, people, we get calls. And so being Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, you get calls. And they're not always about, hey, Jason, I want to sell my house, or hey, I want to buy a house. Sometimes you get calls with just questions. And one of the questions we have is property values. Hey, I'm buying a house over in this area, and what's affecting my property values? Now, as a realtor, we have to be careful, because you can't get into certain things like, you don't want to get busted for redlining or block busting, anything like that. So, but you do want to be open, and you have to be honest about what's going on. Thank God for the internet. We can pull a lot of stuff. So a lot of things that affect property value, crime reports, what's going on in the neighborhood, this and that. But one thing, and we've been very, very adamant and we've been very active in this, is the fact that school districts and schools have a big impact on property values. And I know some of you are saying, well, why does the school have to do it? Well, it's the board. And trust me when I tell you, there are some boards out here in Arizona. They hire some, or they elected, I should say, get elected with some idiots, plain off morons that have no business being on school boards. They ruin the values of your house. And I can prove that there's direct input. Schools that flourish have higher values in their neighborhood, just plain and simple. So, with that said, it's probably a pretty good idea that you get involved. Listen, we don't get into politics on this, and I don't want to. I'm going to get a couple calls. Some people say you're into politics on it, but the fact of the matter is, school boards are elected. You need to watch who is on your school board. If they're running around in a dress and they're a guy and they got pink hair, you probably don't want them on the board. Also, I've always been kind of adamant about if you don't have kids or never had kids or brothers or sisters, you probably don't have any business on the school board. You just can't keep up. But anyways, we do get some crazy ones, so this affects property values. So at the Grandon Group, we talk a lot about this, especially on the Lockbox and on our blog. So go to thegrandongroup.com, check out the blog section, and you can read it. But here's the deal. When schools thrive, homes in that area tend to soar in value. Why is that? Common sense. High-performing schools attract buyers, which give Arizona home values higher numbers. It is that simple. A few other things impact it. You put a smoke shop and a 7-Eleven on the corner, you tend to attract a riffraff. So, again, I know we're all busy and you don't have time to get things, but listen, when someone's running for board, read on that person, vet that person, ask them the tough questions. Zoning, city council have meetings, find out what's going in on that corner there, because you probably, if you don't watch it, something's going to end up there that you don't want, that's not good for the kids. So on the flip side, when schools struggle, fewer buyers are interested and property values can stagnate or even decline. And this isn't about politics, it's about protecting your investment and your community. So what can we do as a homeowner or a buyer? Like I just mentioned, watch your school local board meetings. You have a voice, use it. If you want to be kind of more anonymous, have a friend do it, or just send a letter in and stuff. They have to listen to you. Also, I've always found it useful. Send a letter to the school board. Half of them, there are some really good people on the school boards, don't get me wrong. But when you have an issue, you send to the school board, and they, generally sometimes don't answer. So guess what? Send it to your rep in your legislative district. Stay informed about things like budgets, academic programs, and extracurricular offerings. Trust me, being informed doesn't just help the community, it helps your property values. I swear to you, it helps your property values. There's a lot of new communities out here going in, and it is very, very important that with the schools that are being built, that you get a head start on what's going on. And I'm not telling you to sit there and you got to do this and that. Just set some standards. One thing that I love lately is they're pulling cell phones from schools. Kids can't have cell phones in schools. And proven fact, test scores are up and kids are communicating with one another. And guess what? Mom, Dad, I got 20 friends, not just one. And they're live. They're not on the phone. There's a lot of common sense things that go into it. And this directly impacts your homes. By the way, if we dive deeper into this on the Lockbox, and you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, the Lockbox presented by the Grandon Group. Okay, now let's talk real estate. Fall is actually one of the best times to buy or sell a home here in Arizona. Now, for those of you that have been listening for any amount of time, you know I am like the Halloween mayor. I love the fall season. And the reason being, it just kind of marks change of seasons, change in everything, and it just kind of leads us into the best time of year, the holiday season. So the fall season, more active buyers. Families want to move before the holidays, so they're actively searching now. Those that are thinking about selling are actually talking about, should I remodel this? Should I do this? Preparing their house to sell. And yes, Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, can help you with that. Serious offers. Okay. I know we've all been there. You get a offer on your house. You're asking $1 million for your house, you get a $500,000 offer. This ain't serious. First of all, I think every offer is serious and should always be countered. But also make sure that you guys are pricing your home correctly. If you live in a $500,000 area and you're going to try to get $1 million, good luck. That's why it's important to interview agents. So this is also perfect staging season. Fall decor and lighting naturally boost your curb appeal, and it makes your home irresistible. You drive by my house starting here, I'm telling you, Labor Day weekend, you drive by my house, you're going to see pumpkins, you're going to see fall decor, you're going to see welcome with some pumpkin signs, and you walk in our house, you're probably going to smell pumpkin candles and just different fall things. It adds value to your house, and it gets people excited. We'll get into this at a later point, but there is a direct connection on the way your house looks and smells to getting people to buy, and we'll talk about that later. So, if you're thinking about buying or selling, fall's your season. List or shop now, and you can enjoy the holidays in your new space without the stress of last-minute moves. Grandon Group is here to help you. Okay, let's go into the next section of it. So some of you are going to need resources, and I get these calls all the time. I try to have them on hand. Now listen, I change the resources a lot because when I get if I get bad complaint on somebody we referred, we don't use them again. So I've got great window people. I've got great air conditioned people. I've got great remodelers. We got a lot of great resources. So for your local school board information, go to like school board meetings and plus your city, and it'll pull up. You can also contact the Grandon Group at thegrandongroup.com or just call me direct. And again, the Lockbox for more Arizona real estate tips. And then as far as utility bills, call APS, SRP. Those are your two main ones. We have the resources. Maid service, I got some great house cleaners. Okay, so wrapping up. As we say goodbye to summer, now, right here in the Phoenix metropolitan area, we really don't say bye to summer until mid-October, but if we get this monsoon rain, they're predicting it's going to be awesome. Up north, we say goodbye to summer and we welcome fall to Arizona. So remember, this is a season full of opportunities, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to a larger space, or finding a neighborhood with top-rated schools. Here's to a fantastic school year, fun fall traditions, and maybe even a new front porch by Halloween. You ready to make your move? Reach out to thegrandongroup.com or reach out to me on my phone number. It's listed below. But listen, thank you again for listening to the Lockbox presented by the Grandon Group. We are brokered by one of the top real estate agencies, my home group out here. And thank you for making us the #1 podcast for lifestyle and real estate. We love it. You guys are great. Go to our, we got a ton of social media stuff. Just look up the Grandon Group. You'll find stuff. Reach out to me. And listen, if you have questions, ask. And plus, we own instantrenters.com. So if you have questions on rentals, we are absolutely experts on that. Hey, thanks again for listening to the Lockbox. We will see you next time. We're going to have more and more of these. Let me know what you guys think. It's both video if you want to watch it, plus podcast. I'm Jason Grandon, your host with the Grandon Group. We'll see you soon. Take care.